What's going on, guys? So I'm going to do a little video and show you guys how to draw supply and demand zones that you can use to intraday day trade. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the daily time frame here. Now what I have is the 1 year 1 day chart. Every candlestick is going to represent 1 day's worth of price action. Now we can put as many supply and demand zones as possible. Normally what you want to see is multiple touch points to create a supply zone, multiple touch points to create a demand zone. You can go as far back on the chart as you want to, but obviously if you're just looking to day trade, you're looking to scalp, you really only need enough data to kind of get you by, for 1 or 2 days, and then you can play in between those levels accordingly. And then when they kind of break or when they kind of break down, you can take your calls or your put options, or if you're trading stocks, you could short equities or you could long shares. So with that being said, we're gonna just do a basic, just a basic setup here on the triple Qs, which is the NASDAQ 100. So what I'm gonna automatically start off doing is I'm just gonna glance at the chart here, and this is what you need to get good at when you are looking to day trade. When you're looking to scalp, you want to be a day trader. You want to do this stuff, more than buying a couple of shares of a stock and just kind of holding it until it goes up. If you really want to trade, you're going to need to learn how to analyze the candlesticks and analyze them quickly. Because no one wants to sit here and look at a chart for hours and hours on end just to kind of spin your wheels in the mud and then come up with nothing and still take no action the next day. So what we want to do is we want to analyze this chart very, very quickly. We only need supply and demand zones to get us through 1 or 2 days, and then we can kind of erase everything and then redo it. But what I'm going to look at here, I'm going to go back to last Thursday 1, and then Friday 2, and then today 3. What can you visually see here on this chart? You can see rejection spot here, rejection spot here, today's close, rejection spot there. 3 touch points, multiple touch points, the same area providing problems. That's going to be our immediate supply. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a price level here on this on these highs, and then it's going to kind of give us that first little bit of supply. So what we want to do is we want to add a drawing, do a little price level here. I want to put it to the top. Now you don't have to be perfect to the penny spot on, but what I got is 294.45. What this is telling me is that price action intraday can break $294.45. This might be an area of opportunity to try to get in and perhaps buy some calls. Now, what would be my price target? Well, if I quickly scan to the left of the chart in this vicinity, what are some other areas that we kind of came into multiple times and we touched? If we look at May 13th, we look at May 16th, we look at May the 18th, kind of all have this little zone here where we kind of came up, rejected, came up, rejected, came up, rejected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another level here. I'm going to show you how we can cross-reference all of this stuff. And I like to put it at the top of the wick. And then let's say to the downside, we have touch point here. We have a candle close here. We have today's lows here. This is going to be our short level. This is going to be our demand. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. And then, let's give it one more upper supply zone in case we kind of do break through there. We're going to put it at this day's high here, and that's giving us a price of around $306.76. Obviously, what I'm also looking at here is this 20-day moving average, which is the purple line you see on our screen. If we can get over the 306.76 and then we can get a close over that and then confirm it following, this could be a change in trend for a short-term dead cat reversal bounce. So you can see just ever since we've lost the 20-day moving average back here on April the 8th, we've never reclaimed it. So if we do reclaim it, there's potential for a nice run up there, and I'm going to want to buy calls over 306.76. Now what we want to do, let's scroll down to a smaller time frame. Let's use the 4-hour chart and let's see where our daily levels kind of matched up. So if we kind of take a look here, this is looking really, really good. We have our top supply zone here at 306.76. If we do break this level, I would want to get calls getting out of this supply zone. This 303 to 306 area, very, very tight range. I'm not going to want to take calls here. This is not enough space for me in that zone. to kind of take calls. You know, this zone is too choppy. I don't even want to mess around with it. Last thing I want to do is get long here, get stuffed, and then roll back over and lose a bunch of money. So I'm going to leave this zone alone. I'm going to get long here, okay? We're going to leave this zone alone, and then we'll get long over the 306.76. Now, another level that I kind of like here is this 294.45. So 294.45 is an area that I like, and I can actually adjust this just a little bit more to get it on the top of that wick. Let's call it 295, right? Let me get this down perfect. Yeah, about 294.88. Let's call it 295. Over 295, I would be interested in getting long here. Over 295 definitely has room into 303. This is going to be our dead cat bounce. This is the play we're looking to get long on. Over 294.88, 295. We want to get long. We want to be taking profits into 303. We want to make sure we cover here, hold a runner in case we do decide to break through the 306, and definitely going to want to be long over that. That's a whole nother trade. To the downside, what are we looking at to the downside? We have these levels here on the downside. And kind of adjust this just a little bit. See here, 1 second. I'm going to move this just a little bit. 287, that's a level to the downside. You can see each time that we kind of came down, tagged 287, quickly, briefly lost it, and then bounced, briefly lost it, bounced. So, you know, if we kind of come into this zone, what I can do here is put another demand zone here. Obviously, I'm not going to trade short in this zone. Every time we've got in this zone, we've bounced. So if we do come into this zone below 287, there is room to 285. I'll show you how you can play that, but keep in mind that's more of a scalp. And then we're going to put our bottom demand zone here at our recent lows of $280. Obviously, any loss of $280 is an easy put position there for some levels to the downside. Then we're going to go over to the 1 hour time frame. We're going to kind of see how that correlates. Everything looks like it's matching up very, very clean. You guys are going to start to see, I started with a daily, I went to the 4 hour, now I'm on the hour, and you can kind of see how well this is correlating up here. We still have the big break here of 306. We want to be long. 303 to 306 is an area of opportunity for a scalp. You can see how this range is going to start to widen up from the 4 hour time frame here. So if we do break this, you can take a scalp. Just understand that you're going to be running into supply at 306. You're going to want to take profits somewhere in the middle of the range. Now, here's this area that I really like here, the 294.88. If we do break 294.88, I like this for a long play here. Buy some calls. You know, we don't have to take it all the way into 303. It might never get there. But if we can get 296, 297, 298, 300, you know, I'm definitely taking profits there. This zone here, I kind of want to stay away from unless we break and then we back test and can't hold. I might take a short position through 394.88. And then I know that my demand zone is 287. 287 to 285 here. Very, very risky trade here. Scalpers, experienced scalpers only. The bigger and better kind of short position here is this loss through about in that 285 zone. So if we kind of look at this 285 zone here, right, get to that bottom wick here, 284.80, 285. If we do lose that, we do have room to tag the most recent lows here of 288. Obviously cover your short position in 280. Or excuse me, from 284.81, we'd have room down to 280. At 280, cover your short position there. Could be looking at a bounce. If we do get a nice little bounce off of 280 and then start to dip below, that's another short position there. So then we're going to go down to what we're going to actually use to manage our trades and kind of watch the price action intraday. We're going to be the 5-minute time frame. So you can kind of see here all the zones, how clean they match up. This is not rocket science here. I started with the daily time frame. I used the 4-hour time frame. I used the 1-hour time frame. And now I've got all these levels and all these supply and demand zones on here. And it correlates all the way down with the 5-minute time frame. So if you kind of think, you know, well, why do stocks stop where they stop? Well, it all comes from the macro picture, the daily, the 4-hour, the 1-hour. And if you're looking to trade intraday, what's our long scalp here? What's our long position? Over 294, 295. If we break this back test and push higher, we have room into 303. I want to take profits somewhere in the middle of the zone as we get closer. If we break 295, try to tread sideways and then lose this area, this is a short position from 294 down to 287. You're going to want to cover your position somewhere in the middle here, hold the runner in case we do break 287. If we do lose 287, we have room to 284. That's a short scalp position there. Just understand that if you take a short scalp through 287, doesn't mean we're coming to 280. You got supply here at around 284, 285. Cover your position somewhere here. You're looking for maybe a $1.50 move on that. If we do lose 284.81, we can take another short position here. I would expect a break, some sort of back test, rejection in this zone, and then flush through 284 down to 280. Obviously cover before we get to 280. Don't think that, hey, we broke 284, we're going to break 280 and continue to make new lows. Just understand, we broke 285, 284. We want to take profits down in this way. We want to hold the runner. If we get down here, look for the bounce, look for the rejection, and then another continued flush. If we do continue some sort of hard flush, the macro short position is 280.25. The macro long position is over 306. Definitely keep these on your chart. That's a basic intro on how you can set up your charts in day trade using supply and demand. This is high level stuff here, guys. It's very basic but high level. If you guys actually just pay attention to what was going on in this video and you set up your charts this way and you stay patient and you respect the supply and the demand zones, then you will do just fine being a day trader. Are you going to win every trade? No, but you're going to win more than you lose if you respect the supply and demand zones. Now, here's an easy way if you're a brand new trader. What supply? What's demand? Think of demand as support. Think of supply as resistance. Think of demand as buyers and think of supply as sellers. As we come into a level of supply, there's going to be sellers in this range. When the buyers clean up the sellers, we can go higher. Now, if buyers cannot clean up sellers, the sellers will outweigh the buyers and the price will start to come down. As we come down into demand, you're going to have these buyers. If there's more selling going on than buying, they will eat up these buyers here and flush to the next significant area of buyers. Everything else in between is just pricey choppiness action, meaning that it's just a bidding war going on between supply and demand. Which is a bidding war going on between buyers and sellers. Whoever wins the current zone is going to win the price action. The price action is going to follow to the next supply or demand zone. Stocks are going to move from supply to supply and demand to demand. I hope this video makes sense. Make sure to join my Discord. That link is down in the description box below. If you guys are looking to actually day trade on a daily basis, you want more help, intraday technical analysis. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. It would help the YouTube algorithm kind of push my video out to more people. I would highly appreciate that, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.